Welcome everybody to this Motorcycle Summit Tuesday, and thank you for coming and running amok with us. All right, hey, hi,
Yay! Running
hi.
amok on Tuesday. What's up,
You know,
everybody?
our guest tonight said that he's currently living on the on the
Danger
edge.
side.
Uh,
Living
yeah,
on the edge.
so tornado and big boom crash, bang, thunderstorm. So if he gets swept away, we'll carry on without him. Until then, we'll see what we got
You are so
today. Who do we got?
sympathetic.
What do we got? Now I
You
am
are so
sympathetic. You know,
sympathetic.
we live in the land of naders, so I get it. Now,
That's true.
there's been times that what was it?
And
Donna
quakes.
and Pam almost got erased from the show because of bad weather coming around.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a.
And you drove through it
I just put
once.
that out there first, just in case if we go to him and he's gone.
Yeah, and
No,
Pam and myself, apparently, because
We'll just
I guess
rename
Yeah, we're all
him.
under.
We'll rename him
What?
Dorothy.
Dorothy. That's okay because Oz looks like a fun place.
I think
You
so.
go,
does.
you can go,
Oh,
you can
my
go. I'd like to take a nap in the field
God. Yeah. Sleep for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the poppies. There you go.
just for a minute. All right.
And then, then it snows on you.
we had a
Right?
yeah, it sounds like fun. Except for the stupid flying monkeys. I still think The Wizard of Oz is one of the scariest movies ever made because of the stupid flying monkeys. Because flying
Yeah.
monkeys,
Terrifying.
it's terrifying. The idea of them. I don't think monkeys are. They're. I don't like them. They're vile creatures. Anyhow,
I think the little ones
beside
are
that,
cute.
you no little ones. They'll bite you. Little bitey little things. They're terrible. And I know little tiny handfuls of poop or big handfuls of poop. I don't like any kind of poop playing an animal. It's terrible. That's just my
No.
opinion on monkeys. Tina likes monkeys. She always like, oh, look at this cute little monkey. It's so cute. I'm like, no, no, I don't like them. You said you're doing something this weekend. What are you doing this weekend? Who's doing what?
I am doing something, and so is Pam. I'll let Pam go first.
Yeah. We are Bordertown Paranormal is holding a fundraiser for the Greg Theater in Sedan, Kansas. Friday night starts at 7. Tickets are $50 a person, and all proceeds will go to the Greg to help preserve and restore. And it's a very cool venue. It's a really awesome small town theater, if you remember the oldies.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. We've been there a few
How far
times.
is it from me?
It's not that far. It's about 20
4.5
minutes.
hours from you.
2 days.
It's less than an hour. It's 20 minutes the other side of Caney.
What?
Oh,
No,
I might go.
why
Yeah,
is the theater? Why are theaters
discount
haunted?
tickets, so. I don't know. That's a good question. There's a lot of emotion, maybe. You
A lot
know,
of residual energy.
a lot of energy expelled during the movies. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's a good question.
It's weird because I know there's a lot of
Love
haunted
movies,
theaters out there.
janitors,
Yeah, there are.
Well, you
maintenance
gotta
people.
think, you gotta think about
Naked
the
people.
and stuff that you get, especially like those that are old theaters where a lot of people were
Wrong type of show.
nostalgia,
Yeah, and they
Exactly.
have held
trying to
plays
keep
there.
focus.
They've held plays there. They've done all kinds of things. But we had 12 spaces, and I think we've got 3 left. So if you're interested,
Cool.
jump
It's always
on
fun
it.
though. I love that. If you can go there and do a live investigation, that's fantastic. But if you can't go there to be a live thing, then you could do what Shauna's talking about.
Yes,
you-
and that's gonna be Saturday. But go ahead, Pam.
I was just going to say, it's not only at the theater. They're going to do a walking history tour of Sedan, weather permitting,
Oh.
too. And it's a killer little town. It's very cool.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
I might have to take a look at that. And then Saturday, I'm gonna go
Saturday.
live. I was invited to go to a war museum for a paranormal investigation, but because it's 4.5 hours away and I don't get off work until 4:30, by the time I get down there, I'd set up and then tear it down. So what we are going to
She
do
drives
is
fast, but not that fast.
So what we're going to do is our friend Kim Baranski, she is going to go live there, and I'm going to air it on Exploring the Paranormal Perspective. So you can go to EPP Podcast at rumble.com, or you can watch it on the tube of you at Geeks Paranormal. I will be having it live, and we will be taking questions from the community. Anybody that wants to participate in the chat can, and we will try all the experience we can possibly try within reason. I'm not going to make Kim do crazy crap. I was going to say other stuff, but I mean, I'm going to make her try some crazy stuff, but not
She
something
will.
here in trouble on
She
air.
will, and if she won't, Aaron will.
Yeah, I know.
She's a professional, so we can't compromise her job.
No. And Aaron is in the service, so we can't really compromise him that much either.
Okay.
But it's going to be interesting because it is a war museum. I'm ex-military. Aaron is back into the military. So it's going to be a very interesting remote view sort of thing. So
Cool.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, sounds good.
People enjoy that kind of stuff. So that's all right.
Definitely.
And then the following weekend, so not this weekend, but next weekend, Shaw, you and I are going to be down in West Plains for their
oh my
Wow,
God,
that's
already. Yes.
OzCon.
This is coming up fast.
on the
And
24th.
you're doing vendor stuff there, right?
Yes. I got to get a new laptop. I need to order that tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be podcasting all weekend.
I got my laptop in today.
Yay!
Yay.
We'll
I'm
be
going to get
podcasting
one
all
because I'm not going
weekend,
to carry
and
this.
I'll be
Yep.
giving a talk on Friday night at the con. I'm like, this is cool.
Awesome.
Yay. I'm going to
Yep.
have
Into
our
that.
on-air sign with me, and we're going to have the table cover. Where is it at?
Where did Shaw go?
Off screen. She's in the dark.
Sorry.
Disappeared.
I got the table cover.
Oh, it
Hey.
came in. Nice.
It doesn't
Yes.
look impressive like that.
Not like that, but we can see Pam's face upside down.
Yeah,
There you go. All right, you look
that's where you
great.
should hang it. Just make it look just like that.
There you go.
Yep.
I'm on
That's
the
cool.
east. I think I'm on the
That's
east
awesome.
side, or is that west?
Yeah.
Never
Yep.
mind.
We have questions on how it's going to fit on things, but it will fit.
Oh, it will fit because it was the other way around, not the
Okay.
way I said it. It's just like mine.
Okay. So you said you're going to be at OzCon, so that's what, in 2 weeks?
In 2
Not
weeks.
this weekend, but the following weekend, 24th. Yeah,
Yeah, the 24th, right on.
or 24th.
Next
So-
weekend.
Next
That'll
weekend.
be just yuns. And
That's right.
That
We're
was
gonna
just-
have fun gens too.
It's gonna be Mo.
and so what we got, the only cheat sheet I got here is 3 events that the full A.M.O.K team is going to be there. First one is August 8th. We'll be at the Bordertown Paracon in Caney, Kansas, at the rec center there. Yeah, looking forward to that. And what's so great about it, not only is it a fun event, we got cool panels and stuff, but it's for the time being still a free event. And
Yes.
We don't plan on charging, so ever.
Yeah, and
As long
that's
as-
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So
That is awesome.
so get there, come early, stay all day.
We do
And
take
it won't
our
cost you
lunches.
anything except for the food truck, and you want to buy books. And,
Oh, is that food truck gonna be there again this year?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they were awesome. They had
Coyote
some really good
tacos.
food.
Yeah.
Yes.
and that's August 8th. So in Caney, Kansas, it's not that
And
far.
he's
to
a
live
really
around
good
anywhere around this
people
part.
person,
And
too.
even if it is far, so what? You should fly in, really. No.
Yeah.
Take a bus, take a train.
Do it.
And
It's
September
fun.
20, the weekend of September 25th to the 27th at there's a Central Kansas Paracon in Hutchinson, Kansas. That'll be at the Hilton Garden Inn. This one
We're gonna get our
the
room for that
ticket prices, they're like $40 a day or $120 for all weekend. They do have a VIP thing that's at $250. That includes both investigations. You can, if you're only there for one of the nights, you can do one of the investigations. Each investigations are like $40 a piece. So that's how they got
Ken,
going
are
on.
you taking your flag?
What?
Beth wanted to know if you were taking your flag.
Yes,
Flag.
next week too. The one I
And
showed you
then-
guys last week.
Yep.
Oh,
You know you're an investigator, paranormal
Yes,
investigator,
yes,
if they know you or when they know your name.
And you did
Yes.
say Arkansas Paranormal Expo, right?
that was next. I was coming
Yes.
on there.
He's trying.
Weekend of October 24th and 25th. It's just Saturday and Sunday. at the Arkansas Paranormal Expo. It's probably the biggest one. And
Yeah.
it's at Little Rock, Arkansas, at MacArthur Museum. It's not free, but it's pretty inexpensive for what you get. It's $10 each day.
That's another war
fantastic to have.
museum. So
That is a war museum. And it is
it is
haunted.
awesome.
It is haunted.
It
It's very
is.
cool.
But it's just jam packed with stuff. Vendors
It's terrific.
inside and out, and
floors.
it's just a fun event. So
2
if you like,
floors and outside.
yeah,
And the
so it's
speakers
one of
are
those-
always
one of those days.
great.
Yeah.
It's
Excellent
good.
speakers.
And then
And we'll be broadcasting from the event. So
Yes.
we're gonna have 5 chairs at the table, one for each one of us, and then one for you, so you can come be on the
Yes.
show live.
and I'm going to be running
with us.
back and forth.
Okay.
Probably
Before-
having my EPP camera facing the A.M.O.K camera.
Anyhow,
I'm hoping that our
Um,
guest is still awake. Go ahead.
Yes,
It's
I have.
I'm
some,
hoping
but
it's
we
still
still have
there.
some more
Yeah.
stuff too. We have the NolaCon that we're going to be sitting right between Patty Negri and the Pat Medium, and we're going to have that father there that I can never remember his name. Oh my
The
god!
father.
I'm so sorry.
It'll be fun.
But
It'll be
You always
we're
good.
going to be there.
Pet- you say pet medium, and that just cracks me up. I'm sorry.
I
And
know, I
look-
know.
look- hey, look, guys. I am a skeptic, and I'm saying that just sounds just. I can't even chew that one. Can't get it anywhere close to my mouth. No, terrible. Go
We're
ahead.
also going to
introduce-
Goblin Con in August,
And
and the end of June is going to be the Troy, the Haunted
Haunted
America.
America.
Yeah.
Haunted
Are you
America.
I know I'm putting you on the spot right now, but are you inviting me to that perchance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at her. Are you inviting?
Yeah. I'm just a spectator, but yeah.
Spectator.
I don't have. I think
Spectator.
their spaces are sold out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've
Well,
been
then
sold
I
out.
will try to make it. I want to. I'm off that weekend, so anyway, we need our guests because we've rambled.
That's
You-
right. So we're gonna have to give him an.
It's
Ex-
your fault.
We're gonna have to go overtime tonight because of this. But anyway, no, it was great. Okay, our guest tonight. He is a prominent cryptozoologist and I can't read paranormal
If he's
researcher.
still there.
Yeah, I think he's awake. Based in Wisconsin, he may be researching right now. He's known for founding
Why
the
am I?
Cryptids,
get on this
Anomalies, and the Paranormal Society called CAPS. He hosts shows like Monsters on the Edge, Paranormal Spectrum on the Untold Radio Network. His expertise has been showcased in various media outlets, including American Paranormal Magazine and My Haunted Hometown on the T&E Network, along with numerous podcasts. Mr. Jones and his team primarily investigate Wisconsin, but they have also ventured out across the United States. Haunted sites, remote forests, elusive creatures, and spirits. So without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Barnaby Jones to the show. And he is not
You said
an
you
MD.
said Monsters on the Edge.
That's a
Is that
great
like monsters
Oh.
like?
Yeah, I
Is
like
that like
that.
monsters like
Living
they're
on
like
the
really
edge.
stressed out?
No. It's flat Earth.
I'm on the edge, man.
It's flat
Flat
Earth.
Earth.
Come on, never mind.
Oh.
Okay, bring him in. He's here. There he is. Are you awake?
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to
Yeah.
the
Monsters.
Hey,
Monsters on the
A.M.O.K
edge.
we are.
I like
we
that.
are A.M.O.K. That is correct. So yeah, you're never gonna.
No, that's just us. I can't help it. So,
What you
but
see is
yeah,
what you get.
so tell me about this Monsters on the Edge, because that sounds like really kind of like stressed out monsters, like really just like
Yeah, we're talking medical field right here, right there.
kinda
This way over here.
they need to be like they need to head to behavioral health. I can't take it anymore. I'm on the edge.
It's Monsters on the Edge. Like a lot of these creatures are sighted on the edge of civilization, like at the edge
Nice.
of towns, at the edge of people's houses, properties. The tree lines, the edge of civilization and the wild. So monsters.
Yeah,
Makes more sense.
I knew he'd have
Yeah,
an answer,
Adrian.
Adrian.
man.
But you never know. I mean, they could be suffering
They
from
could be stressed out. Nobody
crisis.
like.
Yeah, some of them. It's like I can't find my way. Can't find my way. What's why I'm running?
I have a question.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Who? You have a question? Is this one going to be one of these well thought out 3-point questions?
Man.
I have those written
Um,
down. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So when you were in elementary school, you did a research paper on the El Chupacabra.
Correct.
What
yes.
was it about that creature and that moment in time that captured your imagination?
I've always been interested in, the weird, Bermuda Triangle and Loch Ness Monster and all that stuff. And in elementary school, was the 90s, right in 95, 96 and stuff, right when this was hitting the news.
No.
The Chupacabra was like all over the internet when the internet was still just becoming the internet and stuff. So this was headline news at the time when I did the research paper on it, because I wanted to know, well, everyone's heard of Bigfoot or Loch Ness Monster and stuff, but here's this brand new creature being seen, being researched in real time. So that's why I did the paper on it. Yeah.
Oh,
Very
sorry, but the elementary school was in the 70s, sir.
Mine was 80s.
Oh God.
You're all
60s.
Nobody knew the Chupacabra when I was.
We didn't know anything about ghosting. There were no cryptids in our era.
Well, see, you
No,
were
my-
doing
my-
homework then. See,
I was on
because
the verge. I was on the edge.
There you go.
My wife was the same way when she was in school in the Wayback Machine. That's what she was always into, all the creatures. She loved that. Her favorite was Mothman, and so we have a lot of Mothman stuff here in the room. And but yeah, she was that way. So you're a creepy kid like my wife. So
Mine was
me, I didn't believe any of it until
Creepy.
'99. That's a different story.
I wanted to believe in all of it. Well, kind of
I
walk us
do.
through your journey
Yeah.
of investigating cemeteries as a kid to founding CAPS, and what were some of your pivotal moments that kept you pursuing the path?
Yeah, I started out, like I said, I was always interested in this stuff, but like a lot of people, I believe that, I thought that Bigfoot and stuff was Pacific Northwest, out on the coast and stuff. Loch Ness Monster was in another entire country, and
Right.
so again, back when I was, starting out interested in all this stuff, we didn't have a lot of internet, and that there was hamsterdance.com, and that was about it, for the internet.
Hey, I forgot all about that. That was great.
I did too.
It's my favorite.
That's still there.
Yeah, it is still
Gotta
there.
go to
actually.
Google. Oh, right.
That's hilarious.
So you didn't have access to all this stuff. So I started researching more like the cemeteries and haunted locations around here. And I mean, going back to just that, I had my first really weird experience. Well, in high school, I saw a phantom girl in my high school. I was walking down this hallway, and there was a set of glass doors, and she was walking towards me, and I was walking towards her on either side of these doors. And as we got to the doors, I opened it and went through, and she disappeared.
Was
So
she cute?
So you never got to meet her.
nope, never met her. But yeah, so that was one of my first experiences. My high school theater was haunted. We've had some weird experiences in there as well. And I ended up in a cemetery one night, and I saw what looked like green fire coming up from one of the graves.
Great.
And yeah, I was told later on like that this might be like the gas escaping from the bodies and stuff. But it wasn't a new grave where this had been, so it was an older grave, and it could have been, before the metal caskets and stuff were installed. But it was really interesting. So later on, I started doing more investigating with the paranormal and stuff. I owned a haunted house attraction in a haunted building, and had
Oh, wow.
experiences there. We captured EVPs, saw shadow people, and in 2019. There's a property up in Upper Michigan called the Hayden Adventure, or it was. And in 2012, there was a series of 3 game camera photos. The middle one contained what a lot of people believe was a Bigfoot. So they sent this into Finding Bigfoot. Finding Bigfoot came out, did an episode, and people wanted to see the property, see the evidence. So they opened it up as like a tourist destination, kind of where people could come see it for themselves. And myself and my mom went there in 2019 and met Craig Sulk and his wife Barb Sulk. And Craig, basically went through all this evidence and stories of everything that happened on the property, not like a "this is what happened," but "this is what happened. What do you think?" kind of deal. and very, very open-minded, amazing researcher he was. He passed away in 2020 now of thyroid cancer, but
Oh.
he opened my eyes that these things were right here in Wisconsin, in Upper Michigan, and in the Midwest and stuff. And so we started researching an area in southern Wisconsin that was supposedly this vortex area, or as John Keel would say, like a window area that had everything from paranormal to UFOs to Bigfoot. The Beast of Bray Road was right down the road in Elkhorn. And so we went down there, and the very first night that me and my friend went there, we had what I believe to this day is a Bigfoot encounter. This large creature moved through the woods, and I shined my light on the edge of the tree line, and this tree shot up like something had been holding it down, peeking out at us. And so a couple weeks later, we went back down there and actually found footprints in the ground where this thing had been. So that night, we captured pictures, three thermal images of what I believe is a Bigfoot in that area, as well as some vocals and stuff as well. So that's after that, we started Cryptids, Anomalies, and the Paranormal Society, and we've been investigating all over ever since.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. Now,
Yeah.
you just mentioned that area that you were in where you saw the Bigfoot. I first met you at SilCon. I think a couple of us did a year ago. Well, not quite a year ago, 8 months ago, whatever. The exact scale 3D diorama, is that the area that you put together?
Yes, that is the Hayden Adventure exhibit that they're talking about. It's
Okay.
The Upper Michigan property. So once we met Craig and Barb, we got permission to start researching on the property there, and we researched pretty much almost every weekend all through 2020 when we got to do it with Craig, and then he passed away the following year, very suddenly actually. And so we continued with his wife's permission to research the property up until 2023. And things kind of got quiet there. We think that after he passed away, he was very meticulous on the things that he did. So every Thursday he would go out and mow the lawn. He would set up stuff for the Hayden Adventure. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they'd be out there with the gift shop and the museum displays and stuff all set up and that. And when he passed away, Barb just didn't go back on the property pretty much at all. You know, she stuck to the front part where they lived and that, and it's an 80-acre property, so it's very large. I mean, so we were the only ones that were going back on the back of it. And I think that led to why so much of the activity kind of died off, because here you had every single week this redundancy of this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened. And now all of a sudden Craig was gone and we weren't able to get up there as much. So these creatures that are going, well, here's my entertainment. We know every Thursday he's going to be out here. We can watch him. You know, Friday he's going to be here. And when he left, they're like, well, now there's nothing to do. There's no entertainment. There's no
There's
running
no movies.
water. There's no running water on his property. They were avid hunters. And so he would bait for bear and deer and stuff on the back of the property. So once he stopped baiting, because she still hunts, but she only hunted off the back porch of the house. So she wouldn't go all the way back onto the property. So once she stopped baiting and hunting and doing all those activities, these creatures had to move on because there wasn't source, there wasn't water, you know, so they moved on to different areas. And I mean, I'm sure they're still moving through the area, but the activity just kind of, you know, died off there.
So you created I think it was a
yeah.
museum, a museum display. What prompted you to make that diorama? I call it a diorama, for lack of a better word. It was
What I would
amazing,
call it.
absolutely amazing. And I'm thinking, you know, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
I had time to look at it while I was waiting for my wife to make it up, so she was saying hi to everybody. Yeah, I don't know if you remember that or not, but I was like, come on. Anyhow,
it's amazing. It really is pretty cool.
That.
But what prompted you to actually build that and create the museum?
So after Craig passed away, he had all these signs around the property that he had made. And each sign depicted different pieces of evidence or stuff that, you know, was found on the property. And after he passed away, Barb never gave the tours. She didn't, you know, she supported Craig. She knew the stuff, but she wasn't the tour guide. She didn't want nothing to do with it. And we didn't want it to die. We wanted Craig's
Okay.
legacy to live on and to be able to people to come and see the stories, hear the evidence for themselves, because this is all very compelling. He wasn't, like I said, the person that said, this is a Bigfoot on my property. This is what happened. He'd say, this is what happened. I don't know what the heck it is, but this is what we saw. This is what we experienced. And so with her permission, she said, well, take whatever you want, do whatever you want with this stuff because it's just laying there. So we took all the signages that were on the property and I turned them into these 6-foot tall retractable banners. And so each one of the banners in the display depicts one of the pieces of evidence or displays that was on the original property. And they're actually pictures of his designs and stuff. So it's like you're looking at the original designs. It looks like a big log cabin, like you're sitting inside of a cabin when it's all set up. And then in the middle of the big display is this 4-foot long, 2-foot wide scale model of the 80-acre property. So you can actually see in detail where everything happened in relation to each other, how big the property is, and get a feel for this is how things actually happened. And we also have a footprint cast that was taken on the property. We have a box that you can put headphones on and listen to vocalizations that were on the property. Let's say there's something else, but yeah, we have this whole. It takes up a 10 by 10 area that we've taken around for different events and stuff.
So for a memorial type thing, you've brought the property to the people for people who can't actually find time to go there.
Exactly.
Basically,
Yeah.
well, that's,
They don't
continue
they
the
don't
story.
on the property anymore. So.
Oh, okay. Like I said, I was really impressed. I don't think you didn't have that the last time I saw you, but that was up at Silcon, so that was really, really cool. Do you bring that around a lot, or do you bring that with you at several cons? Or
We toured with it for about 2 years now, and it's quite a bit to set up and haul. And like I said, you saw it; it takes up quite a bit of room. So a lot of the conventions don't have room for it. But
Yeah, you don't give you the room to set up something like that. Yeah.
yeah, it's big. I mean, like it is a full display, and like I said, a lot of people don't have room for it. I usually bring it to the locations where I give the Hide and Adventure presentation. So if somebody books the Hide and Adventure presentation, they book the display along with it. So we've done like libraries and stuff with it and that. But if I'm not doing the presentation, it typically doesn't go along. So, and right now I don't have any locations where it's going to be this year as of now. So.
Okay.
If you want it, you can book me, and
Right?
That's exactly right.
well, when possibly we do our own con sometime, maybe I'll have to give them a whole room or something, for a wing.
Cool.
we filled it. So
Sounds good. So
But what an awesome draw.
we do have. If you want to see more, we do have the Hide and Adventure book, which is out. Oops.
Cool.
Closer.
Put it in front of you.
Closer.
I like how it's phasing in and out
I'll
of
put it in front of your
existence.
face.
Kind of like
Yeah, there you go.
No,
Right there.
So
I think
Bigfoot
it's
is
kind of like a
Oh,
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. It's available on Amazon in either hardcover or softcover. It's 20 years of research on the property, and it features his first self-published book that Craig wrote, his second book that he was working on when he passed away, and then the third book in here is everything that myself and my team did on the property since he passed away. So it's all full color. That's not
Nice.
the property, but it's all full color.
Yeah, right on.
Pictures, diagrams, all kinds of stuff of the property, and
Wow.
so it's
I
pretty
like
cool.
the name too. Bigfoot is hiding.
Yeah,
What a
Haydn-
great legacy.
That's
Haydn-
good. I love
Haydn
the
is the
play
name of his Bigfoot because Bigfoot is always hiding.
I
Well, I
That's
like
a
how
great
it's
legacy
fading
for
in
him.
and out because some people think that Bigfoot's an interdimensional creature.
plus for hiding, right? So,
That's awesome.
you were saying that you do research in a lot of different genres, basically, but do you prefer the cryptid area, or do you have, is it balance between that and maybe UFOs and I'll call it ghosty stuff.
I
Spirit
each
stuff.
member of our team has a specific modality of interest. So I
Okay.
focus mostly on cryptids. I like doing the cryptid stuff, the creatures. That's always been my main focus. We have mediums on our team. We're looking currently for like a ufologist in the state of Wisconsin that wants to join the team for boots on the ground and stuff. But we have each person focuses on their own research. So when we go out on a case, whether it be cryptid or UFO or paranormal, we look at it from all aspects. So if you go out in the woods, if there's a Bigfoot sighting in a specific woods in our area, and we go out to this sighting, we do not go looking for Bigfoot. We go
Okay.
out there to see what's in the woods.
Yes.
We
Okay.
Yes.
get the
Yeah,
sky
that makes sense.
for UFOs.
Right.
We explore it on a paranormal level. We go into the our mediums, see what the spirit guides have to say for that area, and we look for physical evidence like footprints and stick structures and all that stuff. So we don't go out there with a narrow viewpoint of this is what I expect to see, because you miss.
You can't do that, because especially if you're going off of what people say, a lot of times people are wrong in the moment. Not that they're lying, but sometimes they see something and it scares them, and then their perception of what happened is skewed because of that rush that they had. So yeah, you can't go out there with any like, oh, I'm going to see this. Yeah, we're going to get down to the truth of what happened.
But once
So,
you
yeah.
start looking for one thing in particular, now you've just blown away all your senses. What are you looking for? You're not hearing, you're not listening, you're not feeling, you're not being, touched or pulled or pushed or whatever the case might be. So you want to keep all your senses open. That's what I teach when I do, paranormal investigating. Don't concentrate on one thing. I want to see something. You just screwed yourself, because you're not going to see anything, most likely. And they could be pushing you down the steps or pushing you up against the wall. Like, oh my God, I just tripped.
You could be like me and say, I'm not going to say anything. Oh, wow. Hi.
You're segueing into my next question.
Well, you're welcome.
Shauna's got her 3-part question here. Come on.
No. Well, you said you owned a haunted house. During that haunted house, it was a real and fake haunted house, correct? Okay. How did you distinguish between what was real and what was fake during that time?
Well, all of our stuff that was real was either my actors or my animatronics. So if I didn't put it there, it was a real haunting. So
Yeah.
that's how you distinguish.
We investigated a boys club haunted house here, and what it was, the actors were setting up for the thing were having experiences, and at first they thought people were playing tricks on them. But when you start, getting tapped on the shoulder, you turn around, nobody's there, but there's no place anybody could have gone, type stuff, and they started hearing stuff, and they're like, okay, that's not because this machine makes this noise, not that noise, and so yeah, no, I get it. I've been in that situation, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I have too. And at a YMCA not too far from here, and up in Alton area, or YWCA, whatever. But yeah, the haunted house was there. We had to set up for our tours and mingle in between their props and all that. And I remember going into one room, and the place was a mess. It's like, guys, you got to clean this mess up, push everything around the side so we can get people through here for the tours. So they did it. And as we came back up the steps and to the room, there was 2 doors. We started coming in this door. They were leaving this door, and I walk in, and all hell had broken loose again. And I said, whoa, guys, get back here. And they went, what the hell? They had just spent an hour cleaning everything up, pushing it all on the sides. The spirits, within a matter of seconds, just pushed everything back in the middle of the room. So, yeah, it's crazy. It is.
So we had a question as we were getting ready to go there. Can you give an instance that you knew it was haunted?
Yeah, several. I'll start out with some of the basic stuff in that, and then I'll tell you the most still the most intense paranormal experience I've ever had. So just starting to set up, we had a 4 foot or 4 foot perimeter around the entire haunt that was for fire egress. And the ground was cement floors, but it was kind of old, deteriorated. So it was crinkly, like gravel kind of. We used to hear people walking down those hallways towards us when you could see, obviously, there was no one at the end of the hallway. At the end of these aisles, you could see a black shadow entity peeking around the end of it towards you. My mom was building wall panels and stuff, and her drill would constantly be unplugged from the extension cord when the extension cord is coiled very loosely along the floor. We heard a child laughing while we were putting up wall panels at one point. This was all
That's
before
creepy.
we opened.
Nice.
So then we started having more and more experiences there, and we ended up doing paranormal investigating after we closed for the night or after we'd done stuff when we had some intense encounters and stuff. And we actually caught we didn't catch it on video, but I saw what looked like a person walk across this doorway. So we went over there to investigate, and we didn't hear anything at the time, but on the audio of the video, a little girl says, "Scary."
Oh yeah, right on.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
And so tons of experiences like that. And the list goes on and on. We have an episode, it's our second episode ever on our YouTube channel, and it's called A Haunted House. And I interviewed some of my actors. We have some video footage and stuff on there. You can see all this stuff for yourself. But my most intense experience was right before we opened for the season, the first year we were in this building, and the building had skylights in it. So we couldn't do any of the scenic lighting during the day. So I had to go out there by myself at night to work on this one swamp area that we had built. So it's got a big a pond form in the middle of the room, and then it's got big styrofoam, like 1.5 feet tall by 2 foot wide styrofoam blocks around the pond, and then like ferns and stuff created in there. And then there's this big waterfall that kind of fell into the pond. And so I'm standing there looking at this pond, and all the lights are off except for a couple little green spotlights that I was working on. And I see this branch of a tree, like a fake tree there, just kind of like lightly bobbing like this.
Mhm.
And there's 8-foot walls in this place. There's no air movement at all. It is hot as hell in the summer. So I'm looking at this tree going like, why is that tree moving? Like, what the heck? And I'm watching it, and it's just like lightly bobbing, just one branch. And so I walked over to it, and I'm about like 4 feet away from it on the other side of these styrofoam dock float things. And I shined my headlight on it to see if, there was anything behind it or anything moving. And the entire tree starts to violently shake. And I took a step back to look behind it. And when I did, the entire tree lifted up and flew across the path where I'd been standing. So it ended up laying over the styrofoam block and then onto the path. So this tree, I left for the night. I'm like, okay. I'm not saying I was scared, but to the point of there's so much stuff happening there that if you're going to mess with me, I'm not going to get any work done. So you don't want me here. Obviously something's going on. I'm done. I'll come back tomorrow. Obviously this isn't going to work out. You're not going to let me, do my lighting project. So screw it, So I left. Next day we came back, and the tree's still laying there, and we set it up. There's no room for anyone to go behind it. We had security cameras in place. No animals, no people or anything went in that area. Unfortunately, all you can see on the security cameras is my headlamp and me looking at it. The cameras aren't facing that direction because the cameras face the line of people walking through the haunt, and this would have been behind it, like off camera. But you can see the room before it, the room after it, and stuff like that. So I know no one was in the area. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then, so the tree has a plaster bottom to it. So it's like one of the old Weeble Wobble toys. You can grab it, pull it over to almost a 45, 50-degree angle, and it'll snap back up to standing.
Okay.
So there's no way that this thing just fell over. Something just had to pick this thing up and just chuck it. So that was
Oh my
to this
gosh.
day still my most
Something
intense.
big enough that if it was a person or something like that, you would have obviously seen that person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Behind where the tree was the waterfall. So the back of the waterfall was 6 pallets stood on end. So 2 like this, and then two, 1, 1, and then 2 behind the waterfall. So 6 of them kind of in a half circle, and then the tree was on the edge of that. So they would have had to been in the waterfall behind. There's nowhere for a person to have been. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Cool.
So you said you have two. You have one podcast, but you have 2 podcasts that you do, correct?
I do currently have 2 podcasts. Yes, I do. Mondays, I do Monsters on the Edge, which is all cryptids. And then Thursdays, I have the Paranormal Spectrum, which is everything from UFOs, paranormal, metaphysical, remote viewing, anything else of the modalities and bizarre and weird.
Why did you want to
Nice.
have 2 separate ones?
So I started Whispers from the Dark podcast as a kind of companion to all of our YouTube stuff, all of our episodes, all of our research. And I got offered a cryptid show on another network. So I started doing Monday Morning Monsters on WLTK DB. And I had Doug Highcheck on as a guest. And Doug invited me to come work for his network and do a cryptid podcast on there. So it was specifically a cryptids network, cryptids podcast. He's the producer of the show Monster Quest. And so I said, I wanted to do kind of a mix. And he's like, well, paranormal doesn't really do well on our network right now, so we're just going to do cryptids. I'm like, okay. So we did Monsters on the Edge. Well, a year into Monsters on the Edge, I said, okay, hey, you have all these like promos for our network that talk about UFOs and aliens and ghosts and stuff. And I'm like, who's talking about that if we're all cryptids? And he's like, all right, you can have your show now. So, so I expanded onto Thursdays with the Paranormal Spectrum show. So that's all that keeps them separate. But, yeah, there's a little flow over between the two and stuff, depending on what topics we cover. But for the most part, yeah.
That's very cool. Hey, I recently saw, unless somebody's got a question, I recently saw you again at Obscura conference, and we chatted for a while up in DeKalb, Illinois. And I just want to tell you, your lecture was really good, really amazing. So thank you for that. And you gave an interesting lecture on obscure, no pun intended there, creatures that either existed in the past, were recently discovered, or are kind of mythological, basically. So I guess that's a good way to describe your lecture. But what are some of your favorite creatures? Because you went into a lot of them during that lecture.
Yeah, so it's Cryptozoology 101. It's basically talks about, like you said, animals that existed in the past and have been rediscovered, or animals that were discovered that were thought to be mythology for so long. It takes a very scientific look at all this stuff. And I guess, my favorite cryptid of all has got to be the chupacabra. Like I said, I didn't spend, all this time
What
starting.
started it all, right?
Yeah, pretty much. He started it. Everyone had Bigfoot as their gateway drug, but no, I was all the way. That's my little guy. I love the chupacabra. I'll always follow stories and research on that. I like them all. I if there's something that I can track down and get my hands on, that's where I'm going to be. And I've spent a lot of time researching Bigfoot and these creatures just because they're what seems to be popping up the most here in Wisconsin. And there is Dogman. Like, don't get me wrong.
I was getting ready to ask that question because he seems to be the crypto of the moment.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, what is that? Or cryptid, not crypto.
Cryptocurrency,
money.
The Beast of Bray Road, or the Elkhorn Dogman, is very prevalent all the way from the 90s, and before that even the sightings were. The late great Linda Godfrey was the master of all things, Wisconsin Dogman, Michigan Dogman, and all over. We've spent not a lot of time, but we've spent several trips down to Elkhorn area and Bray Road and the Burlington Woods, the Burlington Vortex that I talked about earlier as well, like I said, is 15 minutes away from there. So we've spent a lot of time looking for these Dogman creatures as well, and we just haven't found anything. We haven't got vocals, or we've heard a lot of sighting reports. We actually got a very recent sighting report last year that was the night before that we had spoken with the witness that they had actually seen one of these creatures. And we haven't gotten a chance to. Well, actually, I did get a chance. I went down and looked at the area and stuff and found some interesting footprints, I guess, in the snow that led off into this cornfield, right kind of in the area where she said that she had seen it. But that's about it. We haven't gotten any good leads or thermal or vocals or anything that I would say is Dogman related. So a lot of our research focuses on Bigfoot because that's the stuff that we've gotten evidence for, gotten sightings for, gotten audio and visuals and stuff of.
So
Now
do
you
you,
say you've done a lot of research on it. You've been to like zoos across the United States. What is the
She researched
how does
me.
studying
He's actually looked at my bio.
She did, didn't she?
How does studying known animals kind of help you understand and investigate the unknown ones?
Oh, 100%. Like you've got to know,
without it.
you've got to understand how the animals we know exist live for a variety of reasons. Because if you're out in the woods, you need to know the sounds and vocals of the animals in the area. You need to know what animals are out there so you can stay safe. Are there any venomous snakes? Are there any, dangerous predators, bears or cougars or moose in the area? You got to know what
Kind of
animals.
the sounds too.
Yeah, you have to know what you're listening to, what you're watching for, and know the sign of those animals. You have to know what their scat looks like. So when you're walking through the woods, you can say, well, maybe I don't see a cougar or a wolf, but here's a pile of scat, and I know that is, not a deer. This is something that I need to be worried about. You need to know what their footprints look like, the difference between cat and dog footprints and other creatures like that, so that you are aware. It also helps you with, if you're tracking an animal that you believe to be primate or chupacabra or canine or whatever it happens to be, these animals, if they are in fact flesh and blood animals that they are, they're going to have to follow the same patterns as every other species, right? So every
Nature.
dog is going to have to do, it's going to need water, it's going to need food source, and it's going to need shelter, it's going to breed, it's going to have babies. It has to have these same characteristics. So if you know what a canine, what a wolf, what a coyote does, it's within reason to expect that these dogman creatures probably follow a lot of those same trends. If you know what a gorilla, what an orangutan, your great apes, your chimpanzees, your bonobos, how they interact with the environment, how they interact with each other, their behavioral patterns, you can apply that to these other creatures, these Sasquatch, or and see, well, this is a behavior that falls under that category. It's not outside the realm of possibility that these Sasquatch would do the same thing as the other great apes, or vice versa. So it's
Yeah,
very.
it makes sense.
It does. And it's like a lot of the sounds, because I know lynx can scream, foxes scream. So that also goes into with the paranormal aspect too, because a lot of people will say, oh, I heard a woman screaming out in the woods. Well, it was probably a fox or it was probably a lynx, depending on your location.
Mhm.
But they do sound eerily similar to a woman screaming. So it is a very
Or a
creepy
baby
sound.
crying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
So
owls, don't owls scream too, I think.
Yeah, they screech.
Especially when they're fighting.
I scream in traffic, but I think we're talking about
hey, that's
Really?
same.
Oh my gosh. So so do you investigate year round? And if you do, are there any particularly more active seasons for what you're looking for or searching for?
We do. We do investigate year round and stuff because each season has its own, variables to it. The summer,
Okay.
a lot more people are out there, just traveling and seeing stuff. So you get a lot of reports. In the fall, you get a lot of hunter reports because there's a lot more people in the woods. You also get more activity in the fall during hunting season because with more people in the woods, they're pushing these creatures out of their natural areas. You're scaring them off. You're getting them to move so that they're not being detected, or following the food source that you've pushed out of an area or so forth. In the spring, you get a lot of activity because they're looking for the early buds, the animals that are breeding, the eggs, and the spawning and stuff of the animals. So you have a lot of new food sources that gets this activity. So year round, you have a lot of stuff going on. And well, of course, winter as well. You have a lot better chance to find footprints in these areas because you have this ample supply of nice ground cover that is lends itself very well to footprints and tracking.
Mhm.
But it just depends. Certain areas, I don't think, if you're talking Bigfoot, I don't think that Bigfoot is migratory. I don't think that they move long distances. I do think that they have a very large home range, up to maybe like 30 miles or more. And the reason that is, people would say, well, that's migratory. But if you look at some like big cats, these things have like, and wolves even as well, have, huge home ranges that they'll
Yeah,
protect.
wolves do. I know that for sure.
Good point.
Yeah.
What do you
So,
think? Oh, go ahead.
so you have like these animals with this huge home range because they need that to survive. They have, the fresh food and stuff in the spring, but during the winter and when things are more scarce, they're going to have to rely on more scavenging or the hunting of live prey, the deer and raccoons and roadkill and stuff like that. So then they're more carnivorous of these foods, whereas the spring and summer they can be more omnivorous and eat the berries and stuff, whatever's in season. Go ahead. What was your question?
So I was going to say, so based on what you just said, do you think they're territorial?
I would think to some aspect, especially like in breeding season or stuffing, there's pretty much two camps on these things as far as that goes. As there may be family units where a male and female and a couple juveniles travel together. But there's also been the thought that these things are more like orangutans, where there will be a female and juveniles, or a couple females and a couple juveniles that travel in a group in their home range, and then one male will travel between the different groups of females to breed. So the male would be kind of just, like let's just say like there's if you cut Wisconsin into 4 quarters, you have a family unit in one corner of each corner of the state, and one large male that would just travel between the four. So we don't know enough about them honestly to give 100% answer. But again, going back to her question, about the animal behavior. If you look at other species, you can kind of see what kind of fits with this and say, okay, well, orangutans do this, gorillas do this, and this. So this would make sense based on what we're seeing.
Yeah.
This also implies too with the younger Sasquatch is what we believe is a lot of people see crossing the road, where a young male, if we're looking at the male transient kind of orangutan aspect, if a male gets to a certain age and gets kicked out of its family unit, they're going to be the ones that are traveling across state looking for a new home area, a new spot.
To establish, yeah.
Yeah, and they're young, they're stupid, they're not used to traveling across country, they're in a different area, and these are the ones that are seen crossing the roads. These are the ones wandering through people's backyards because they don't have that home territory yet. So while they're moving, while they're looking for their new base, is when a lot of people are seeing, which would lend to the thought that these things are maybe more migratory. Well, they're not migratory, they're just kicked out of there looking for a new home or something. So
Makes a lot more sense too.
Yes.
Interesting.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you've talked about the chupacabra and you've talked about different things. Out of all of your personal experiences, is there one that stands out in your mind as your absolute favorite? Or is it like picking a child?
I mean, I guess I don't have one favorite experience. I would say that you'd have to go to, like UFO, paranormal, cryptid, and kind of break it down. Let's see.
Top 5. Let's make it easier for you.
Top 3 for the camp.
Top 3. There you go.
All right. Well, so I have not seen a Bigfoot with my eyes. I have seen them on thermal that I personally believe I have. And I would have to say, when we were doing the Rhinelander stuff in Rhinelander, Wisconsin, I got the chance to experience rocks being thrown at us from across a river. And
Nice.
I got one of these creatures on thermal that night. And then the next night I went across and we found across the river and we found 3 distinct size footprints.
Wow.
So that
Wow.
was for me the moment that opened my eyes to say, okay, these things are real. You know, you
Yeah.
can say, yeah, they're out there. Yeah, this is it. But to have all that stuff line up with the vocals that we were getting there, the footprints, the rock throwing, the thermal image, knowing what I know about the terrain and everything, there's no way that was a person on the other side of that river doing this, and 3 of them nonetheless. So that was probably the moment that for me said, okay, there's such a thing as Bigfoot. And so I told you my most extreme paranormal encounter was with the tree. There's nothing that
Yes.
I've seen that's topped that.
Yeah.
I got to experience cannon fire at Gettysburg, and that was
That's
Oh,
cool.
wow.
Man.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
3 in the morning, and we were standing in the glen there, and we were doing an EVP session, and just off in the distance you hear this boom, and
Yeah.
it's like that's not a gunshot, that was a cannon. And we all heard it there, and we're like, yeah, there's no way 3 in the morning someone's shooting off cannons in Gettysburg. So that was really cool.
Now, do you think being in military, I know that you can hear for long distances when it's quiet. Do you think that somebody could have been playing the sound and just like that's the one thing that gets me about Gettysburg?
Look
is
at
that
you
it's
being all
quiet there.
skeptical.
But at the same time, you can hear for a very long distance, and it does sound.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes people will play that. I would love to get that kind of EVP and compare it to like military analysis and see.
That's a
Somebody
very
microwaving
fair
eggs.
point. I'll tell you a little bit of background on that though, and you can see how this fits though. I now that you say that, I wouldn't rule that out. I mean, when we go out to Bigfooting and stuff, we play vocals and stuff like that. We do audio calls and that. At the same point, who's to say that if you're in Gettysburg, you're not doing call blasting of gunshots or
Oh,
gunfire?
blasting.
Never thought.
Yeah.
I've never thought of that. But we were investigating an area that is off the battlefield. It is public access. You know, we weren't trespassing at 3 in the morning. We were on part of a tour group that we got to go there. So this was the only area of a night battle during the Battle of Gettysburg there. And what had happened was I was taking night vision photography, so with IR flashes, and my batteries died in this camera. And I didn't bring any batteries out to the spot. I had them back in the car. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to switch over to regular flash photography. And so I started taking flash photography in this area. And we heard a gunshot, like a Gettysburg.
Like a musket?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the cannon as well. Now, this is what we realized is at night, how do you know where to fire your gun? You look
It's
for
hard unless you go for the light.
For the flash.
the flash of the other people's guns going off. And so here I am flashing this light out in the woods, and now they're starting to shoot at me.
To shoot at you. Yeah.
Interesting. That's
That's
interesting.
That
That
was,
is
I mean,
interesting.
that was just amazing to think of this, that now we're getting the sounds of gunfire right after I switched over to a flash photography camera.
Yeah.
And this is right when we got the fire and everything. So, yes, you are 100% right. We could have just got somebody else, playing gunfire or something in the background. But with the way that things happened, I'm still leaning towards the fact that it was paranormal. But that's
right on.
Could be.
Oh, that's a great story.
Well, that is
That's
really
pretty
cool.
cool. Yeah.
That is really cool.
Hey, we are at the end of our hour. What I want to know is, what are you got coming up? Or where can people come see you? Where can people come tune into you? Where can people get more of Barnaby Jones?
Oh, you can get all that you want of me. I am going to be, first off, May 1st through the 3rd, I am going to be in Delavan, Wisconsin at the Contact Modalities Expo. It is a big 3-day weekend with Chris Bledsoe and Jay Bachochin, Trey Hudson from the Meadow Project, the Stone Tapes girls, the two of them. I can't think of their name. There's like 50 people at this event, so it's really cool. Everything from CE5, UFO, metaphysical, paranormal, cryptid. You got everything going to be there at this event. It's going to be really neat. The following weekend, May 9th, we have our own Cryptids, Anomalies, and Paranormal Convention in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. It is going to be 20 speakers and workshops and over 40 vendors all in this event. It's at the Radisson Convention Center in Fond du Lac. We are going out on a Bigfoot expedition the night before. So we actually have two. We have a kids during the day that for people that just want to bring their kids out and learn about Bigfooting, what to look for, how to stay safe, stuff like that. And then we're going out at night with Lauren Smith and Ken Gerhard, Larry Eisler, a bunch of other people. It's going to be really cool. We got a bunch of guest stars coming out with us to go Bigfooting. And then Saturday is the actual event. June 13th, I'm going to be in Chicago at the Chicago Paranormal Convention in Countryside, Illinois. That is a awesome event, free parking, which is unheard of in Chicago. And it's $1 admission.
Go for the parking alone.
Yeah, come for the parking, stay for the event. And then I have a Potographs event in Green Bay in September. And I have a bunch of library presentations as well in between there. So if you're in Wisconsin, I'm going to be at a bunch of libraries, Brownsville and Cedarburg, and a bunch of them. You can go to wisconsincaps.com and click on the public events tab, and you can see everywhere where myself and my other team members are going to be all year. So there you go.
Most excellent. All right, that's a good job. Hey,
and I've
great
met some of your teammates, and tell Mom I said hi.
Will do.
All right, man. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. That was good.
Yeah, that's
I like
pretty
that.
cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool.
Hey, do not go away. We'll talk to you here in a moment. I'm going to kick you out for just a second. We're going to chat again, and then we're going to don't leave. And I mean, you stayed the whole show. You made it sound like you were going to get washed away or picked up and sent to Oz, but
my tornado watch went off, so I'm just a severe thunderstorm now. It was
that ain't nothing.
Yeah, we're good.
Talk to you in a minute.
We'll do.
All right. That was a fun show. I like that.
That was.
Yeah.
That's really good. Yeah.
And his diorama thing was pretty impressive.
It really is
I have to
amazing.
take a look at it. I haven't looked at it yet.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
But
You
Jennifer
there?
Talley is going to be on next week.
Nice.
Yep. Jennifer Talley will
Jennifer-
be on next week.
She will be?
Yes. She will be on next Tuesday.
But it's awesome.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. That's
So
all right.
it's a definite
I got-
hopefully. There you go.
I know we've entered into Will Trent, and it's time for me to go. So, hey, everybody. See you next week
y'all.
Stay
Stay
AMOK
AMOK.
and have a great week.
and all that
Yes.
stuff.
Not everybody.
Here we
Don't
go.
forget, it's Friday and
Red button.
Saturday. Friday and Saturday.
Who's helping?
Adrian's
Missouri,
got Arkansas.
Kansas,
She's
Oklahoma,
from
Arkansas.
Missouri. She's from
Are we-
Oklahoma.
You're going to try that again, huh?
I got left, you got right.
Blizzard, Jamie, Russ,
Nathan,
Nathan, Beyond, Tunes, Ricky, Flag, Ben, Flag, Chris, Katie, Mickey, F, Doug, Kansas, Half, Where,
Oh my God.
Johnny, Shannon, Spot,
Very much,
Robert,
RBTI.
Russ, Michael, Bam, and Eddie.
What's up, Grant Baylor?
Fluffy, Crowley, 7721, Angels, Incognito, and Alarivian.
You failed.
Blah, 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 blah.
I said the last one wrong.
Exactly right.